rebranding myself this year because some of the habits that I've learned over the years are just not working anymore and I need to switch it up. This includes bad habits like procrastination, negative thinking, low self-esteem. These are all going to affect you on how you get to your goals this year, and I know it's been affecting me. All that low vibrational shit is not coming into my 2025. So here's some tips on how you can be your boldest, best self. First things first, you have to break some of the cycles that you've been in. I'm calling this wash, rinse, repeat. So some of the cycles that you've been in, some of the bad habits that you've been in, you have to try to break those habits. If you break some of those bad habits, 100% your 2025 will look radically different than 2024. And truth be told, you can't do some of the same things you did last year and think that you're going to do the same things this year and expect your life to change. A lot of your habits dictate your actions. So in order to change the way that your year looks, you have to change some of your habits, thus changing your actions. And it's going to take a lot of effort and energy to change bad habits. I completely understand because I'm doing the same exact thing right now, which is trying to change a lot of my bad habits. And I think that with these changes, I can make my 2025 look more productive, like get more things done, not procrastinate as much on the things that I want to accomplish. We have to be dedicated to the changes as well, year long, right? It's not just, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution and then you do it for 5 days and then you don't keep it up. I'm telling myself this as well. So this is advice for me. But yes, if you're going to make changes, you have to, and you can even take baby steps. You don't have to do these drastic things right away. Take baby steps to making these changes. So maybe if you naturally sleep in really late, maybe try to set an alarm and you get up at 8 a.m. and you have a routine. Over time, it'll start to be more of a routine for yourself. It'll start to be more of a consistent schedule. So take baby steps. Don't sort of just jump right into the deep end, especially if you can't do that right away. I'm saying this to myself as well. I have to take baby steps in order to change my bad habits. So 100% do what works for you. Rebranding yourself does not mean you have to change everything about yourself, okay? You do not have to dye your hair. You don't have to change your style. You don't have to do super drastic things to rebrand yourself. But the way that I think about rebranding is, what are some things that your best self does? What is the routine that your best self would have? If your best self gets up at 8 a.m., maybe you should start getting up at 8 a.m. If your best self takes care of themselves, does meditations in the morning, does meditations at night, these are some things that you can start to incorporate into your daily routine. So it's not necessarily about making this complete shift from one spectrum to the other. It's taking baby steps into saying, hey, what are some things that I can change to get me closer to that better version of myself so I can get things done? That's what I'm telling myself. Hey girl, you got to sit down and film these YouTube videos, because if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. You will get the results that you want if you take those steps, especially if you have big goals this year. I would say, especially if you have big goals, there's things that you may have to shift and change. And I'm saying this to myself because there's big goals I want to have with my YouTube channel. There's big goals I want to have just in my creative, ventures. So some of the things that I've been doing and some of the habits that I've been having need to change. Change requires change. If things change inside you, things will change around you. I know this from personal experience, just in terms of vibrationally aligning with the higher version of myself, the more positive version of myself, the best version of myself. things changed around me. I started to attract more opportunities, attract great people. So, really, our energy field just magnifies when we change our habits and really make our goal to be our best self. Understand that what you're doing before is not working anymore. So something has to change. And especially if you feel a push towards change, if you feel like things in your life are looking the same and you want something different to happen, some of the habits, even some of your goals may have to change. And change can be scary. I totally understand 100%. Okay, I can be naturally just kind of anxious, not really wanting to step into the deep end of things and just kind of like pulling myself back until I really know, oh, there's no sharks in the water, okay? But sometimes we may not know or see the full staircase. But if you take one step at a time, at the very least, you can end up somewhere different than you were before. And I think overall, that's the whole goal of rebranding yourself, right? Even if your 2025 looks a little different than 2024, at least you took the step. At least you did something. You know what I mean? Like, I could be a couch potato the whole year if I wanted to. But if that's not super productive for me or my goals, then I'm gonna have to redefine how I spend my time. So try to redefine your relationship with change. I know it's scary, but it can also be an opportunity for growth. Your rebrand is your breakthrough. It's a way to break through some of those fears that you've gained over the years and transform your life. So make your rebrand about breaking through those fears, breaking through some of those limitations you've put on yourself. Maybe there's a story that you keep replaying in your head from childhood or from a bad dating experience you have. We have to sort of look at the cycles, the repeating patterns we've been in, and put a stop to it. Once we put a stop to some of those things will look radically different. We have to change our mindset a lot of times before we can accomplish those goals. Before we can conquer some of those fears, we have to conquer some of those mindsets that are limiting us. My rebrand is me being more creative, right? So for you, it can mean something completely different. But stepping into that and just saying, hey, I want to do more of the things that I love to do, taking the time to do that, things in your life will look radically different. Write down below in the comments what your rebrand is this year. If you want to accomplish a certain goal, maybe there's a word you want to write down and put on your wall. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.